Greed. It's one of humanity's oldest vices. History is filled with people who have done unspeakable things for money. But what if I told you that sometimes the hunger for wealth can drive someone to commit acts so horrifying that even the closest of relationships mean nothing? Today, we're diving into the chilling tale of a woman who didn't just betray her billionaire husband for his fortune, she killed him. But that's not all. In this twisted plot, where even the family dog wasn't spared. This is the story of a gold digger whose greed led her down a dark, deadly path, a murder so cold-blooded it shocked everyone who heard it. But here's where it gets even darker. The truth didn't come to light easily. The murder was calculated, the cover-up methodical, and yet, despite her careful planning, one mistake changed everything. Let's rewind and piece together this chilling story, from the beginning of their seemingly perfect relationship to the shocking crime that destroyed 2 lives. Matthew Grant was the kind of man people admire. A billionaire entrepreneur who built his empire from the ground up, real estate, tech startups, charitable foundations. He was smart, charming, and generous to a fault. By the age of 45, he had amassed a fortune most of us can only dream of, but his greatest treasure wasn't his money, it was his heart. And in 2019, it seemed like he had found the perfect person to share that heart with. Her name was Alicia, stunning, elegant, and, to Matthew, absolutely irresistible. They met at an exclusive charity gala in New York, where the city's elite gathered to donate millions and mingle. Alicia seemed different from the others. She wasn't just a pretty face. She had a way of making Matthew feel seen, understood. What Matthew didn't know was that Alicia had spent years perfecting that very act. Beneath her charming exterior lay a woman who had her eyes set on more than just love. She wanted power, she wanted luxury, and she was willing to do anything to secure it. Within months, they were inseparable. Matthew was head over heels, showering her with gifts, and within a year, they were married in a lavish ceremony that could have been plucked from a fairy tale. But as the saying goes, not all that glitters is gold. On the outside, everything seemed perfect. But those closest to Matthew started to notice subtle shifts. Alicia was more than just loving, she was possessive. She'd slowly taken control over Matthew's personal life, managing his social calendar, deciding who he saw, and even dictating some business decisions. At first, Matthew brushed it off. Maybe it was just Alicia's way of showing how much she cared, right? But soon, her behavior took a darker turn. Alicia became obsessed with their finances. She began asking Matthew uncomfortable questions about his wealth, questions about inheritance, legal wills, and trusts. She'd isolate him from friends and family, ensuring she was the one person he relied on. But love can blind even the most intelligent people, and Matthew was no exception. He didn't see the warning signs. He couldn't imagine that his wife, the woman he trusted with his heart, was plotting something so sinister. But soon, that trust would cost him everything. Behind closed doors, Alicia was meticulously planning her next move. She didn't just want to leave Matthew, she wanted to leave him dead. Why? Money. Lots of it. If Matthew died, Alicia would inherit everything, his estate, his business holdings, even his private offshore accounts. It wasn't enough for her to simply divorce him. That wouldn't guarantee control over his empire. No, Alicia wanted it all. Her plan was cruel and calculated. She began researching poisons, those that would be undetectable, or at least difficult to trace. She searched for methods that wouldn't raise suspicion, poisons that mimicked natural causes of death. Alicia knew Matthew's routine well. He loved bourbon, 1 drink every night before bed. It was the perfect cover. Slip the poison into his nightly drink, and he'd never know what hit him. But Alicia's plan didn't stop there. She knew she couldn't leave loose ends. And for Alicia, that meant Matthew's beloved dog, Max, had to go too. It was a typical evening at the Grant household. Matthew, relaxed after a long day of work, sat on the couch, sipping his bourbon while Max rested at his feet. Alicia played the part of the doting wife, watching from across the room with a soft smile on her face. But inside, she was anything but calm. She knew what was about to happen. The poison worked quickly. Matthew felt the effects almost immediately: dizziness, nausea, confusion. But Alicia didn't move to help. She watched in cold silence as her husband's body began to fail him. Within minutes, Matthew slumped over, his life slipping away. But then came Max. The loyal dog, sensing something was wrong, whimpered and pawed at Matthew's leg, as if trying to wake him. Alicia, determined to leave no evidence, had prepared for this. She'd poisoned Max's food earlier that day. Within hours, both Matthew and Max were dead. The woman Matthew had loved, trusted, and married had just killed him, and his best friend. Alicia's plan didn't end with the murder. She needed it to look like an accident, something natural, something that wouldn't draw too much attention. Matthew's health had been good, but Alicia knew that with enough confusion, people might accept a sudden death. She staged the scene carefully. To the untrained eye, it might look like Matthew had suffered a heart attack, perhaps triggered by an allergic reaction. And Max, well, dogs can pass away suddenly too, right? But Alicia underestimated one crucial thing: modern forensic science. It wasn't long before suspicions began to surface. Friends and family were shocked by Matthew's sudden death. They pushed for an investigation, and when police arrived at the scene, they immediately noticed inconsistencies. Forensic experts took samples of Matthew's body, and the autopsy revealed what Alicia thought would remain hidden: the traces of a rare poison, one known for its ability to mimic natural causes of death. But it didn't stop there. Investigators discovered Alicia's internet search history, how to kill someone with poison, how to stage a natural death, and other damning evidence. The story unraveled quickly. Alicia was arrested and charged with murder, not just for Matthew, but for Max too. The once glamorous socialite who had everything she wanted was now facing life behind bars. The trial was a spectacle, drawing media attention from around the world. The prosecution painted a vivid picture of Alicia's greed-fueled betrayal. Witness after witness testified to her manipulative behavior, her obsession with Matthew's wealth, and the coldness with which she plotted his murder. The defense tried to argue that Alicia was coerced, that she wasn't capable of such cruelty, but the evidence was undeniable. In the end, it took the jury less than a day to convict her of first-degree murder. Alicia was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Greed can warp even the strongest relationships, leading to choices that can never be undone. So what's the real price of wealth? And how far would someone go to secure it? It's a question that continues to haunt us. If you found this story gripping, don't forget to subscribe. There's so much more where that came from. Twists, turns, and tales that will leave you on the edge of your seat. By subscribing, you'll never miss out on the next spine-chilling story or fascinating deep dive into the unknown. Whether you're here for mysterious cases, thrilling history, or the strange and unusual, hitting that subscribe button ensures you're always in the loop. Plus, it supports the channel so we can continue bringing you the best in gripping storytelling. Stay curious, stay informed, and subscribe for more.